Hey everybody, Jack Hammer here. Just wanted to come on and give my thoughts about yesterday's game against the Commanders. Didn't get a chance to do that with Christmas Eve. Wanted to be able to get to the Christmas Eve parties and spend some time with the family, but out walking the dog right now and figured I'd give you my thoughts on the game yesterday and really over the my thoughts on the last month for 49ers football. I think, you look at what the 49ers have done going into this month of December. The question was, we're going to find out who the 49ers are. If they're for real or not, we're going to find that out based on the schedule that they have ahead. And what they do, they went 5-0. There wasn't really even a close game on the schedule throughout that month of December. They dominated every game. Some really good opponents. A strong Miami team coming in at 8-3. Beat the heck out of the Buccaneers the following week. Went up to Seattle. Big win there. They got the big win against the Commanders, and heading into January 1 now against the Raiders. With a chance to continue building towards maybe the number 2 seed, the number 1 seed. Still a possibility with the loss yesterday by the Eagles. If the Eagles lose their next 2 games and the 49ers win out and Minnesota loses a game along the way, the 49ers will get a week off to start the postseason. So that's kind of what they're working towards, and there's still an opportunity to get that. But as far as yesterday's game overall, just a tremendous game for the 49ers, from the standpoint that things were not clicking in the first half. 7 points, went for it on 4th and 1 in field goal range on their first drive. I thought that was the decision to go for it's fine. The play call, looking back, just really don't like that play call from Kyle Shanahan there. Got a little too fancy, I think, for a 4th and 1. Just go ahead and get it, especially against a team as good as the Commanders are up front. Just run the ball at them, and didn't like that. For me, I also, I'm not a big fan of going for it in that situation. I'd rather take the points, and then later on, if the game flow dictates it, you go ahead and you go for 2 later on, or for the first down there instead of kicking the field goal. But overall, Shanahan did what he does, and they were able to turn things around. Brock Purdy had a little bit of a rough first half. The numbers look worse than it really was. 4 of 9 in that first half, but he had a bad drop by Juwan Jennings that led to the interception. A couple balls knocked down to the line of scrimmage. Offensive linemen need to do a better job of getting those hands down. But came out in the second half and just lit them up, 11-13, 178 yards, I think it was. A couple of touchdowns. And Brock Purdy now has played 4 games for the 49ers. You can really count that first game against the Dolphins as a start. He played 79 snaps in that game. 4 weeks in a row, 2 touchdowns. He's got 2 interceptions total over 4 weeks. Just playing at a really high level for the 49ers right now. They're in a really strong position at that quarterback spot. They also have, they're going to get Trey Lance back next year. So they're in a really good spot moving forward. Running back situation. Running game yesterday was a little hit and miss. They got the big home run shot out of Ray McLeod. Great to see that 71-yard burst around the right side. McLeod's a guy who all throughout the offseason was basically Deebo Samuel, doing all the stuff that Deebo would normally do. Kyle Shanahan talked about how he plays the two against each other a little bit, but in a good way. And it was great to see McLeod have that big play yesterday, 71 yards. The guy that's really been a standout for the 49ers on special teams I'd say probably over the second half of the season. And he was able to come out yesterday and make that huge play, get them on the board, give them a 7-0 lead. That was good to see. And the other thing too with this 49ers offense, again, the offensive line's been playing really well. They get a lot of grief from fans. Much of it I don't think is deserved, but they've just played really good. Did a good job yesterday. Only a couple of sacks on the offensive line. There was 3 sacks total, but one of those was Purdy running out of bounds on a screen pass in which the play got broken up and he had to take off running and wasn't able to get anything out of it and ran out of bounds. Other than that, he only got hit 3 times. So really good overall performance by the 49ers offensive line yesterday. What can you say about George Kittle? George Kittle and 3rd string quarterbacks. What is it? I know right now Brock Purdy is the guy, but he started the season as the 3rd stringer. And you look back on George Kittle's biggest season up before the season for this year was in 2018 when he was playing with 3rd string quarterback Nick Mullins. So whatever it is about George Kittle and third string quarterbacks, keep it rolling for 49ers because it's working out well for you right now. Let's see what else we've got on the defensive side. Nick Bosa just continues to lead the way. Big game after big game. A couple of sacks yesterday. The big part with Nick Bosa yesterday with the sack fumble recovered by Jordan Willis. Tremendous effort all day long by Nick Bosa. It was great to see Javon Kinlaw back. 49ers had that big goal line stand in the first half, and that was really about Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw comes out on that play, takes on two Commanders offensive linemen, and what he did there created a free run for Fred Warner to the running back, which allowed him to make the stuff. So really nice play right there by Javon Kinlaw. Doesn't show up in the stat sheet anywhere. You really got to be paying attention to the game to catch that. They showed it on the TV broadcast, so hopefully you guys caught that, because that was a really nice play by Javon Kinlaw. A huge play in the game, and at a big point too. Fred Warner led the team in tackles yesterday. And what can you say about Jimmy Ward, right? Jimmy Ward's a guy who myself and a number of others were kind of getting on early in the season. Had to make that move to nickel corner because he started late with the injury, and Tayshaun Gibson was playing so well they couldn't take him out of the lineup, so they moved him into the slot. Struggled a little bit coming back from that hamstring injury. And what do you know? Lo and behold, Jimmy Ward, 3 interceptions this season. Picked off his third of the season yesterday. He now has a career high here in 2022. Impending free agency for Jimmy Ward. It was great to see him make another big play for the 49ers. Looked like it was going to be a pick six, but rolled over on the foot of the Brian Robinson Jr. So the running back there, the ball was intended for. And then also just the 49ers in general. Think about the fact that, they've done this repeatedly now. They're now 11-4. Started off the season, they've gone from 3-4 to 11-4. Just playing at such a high level across the board, offense, defense, special teams picking it up. And what can you say? So big game yesterday, like I said, big win. One last point, it's kind of a funny one. Early on in the season when the 49ers had lost a couple of games in ugly fashion, the ugly game in Chicago and the ugly Monday night ugly loss on Sunday night out in Denver, I tweeted out something about how the 88 49ers had lost a couple of ugly offensive games with ugly performances by their offense. 9-3 loss to the Raiders, a 10-9 loss to Chicago on a Monday night game there in 88 with Joe Montana at quarterback and Bill Walsh as the head coach, and how that team figured it out and ended up going to the Super Bowl, winning it. They never lost with Bill Walsh. The fun thing about that was that 1988 season, the game that turned it around for the 49ers was a Monday night victory over the Washington team. They weren't called the Commanders at that point, but it was a Monday night win at Candlestick for the 49ers. They won that game by a score of 37-21. Yesterday's score was 37-20. It would have been 37-21 if the Commanders had just kicked the extra point instead of going for 2. I just find that to be a little ironic, the way that all worked out. So I hope you guys are having a great Christmas. I really appreciate all the support you guys give me on the channel. And if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button for me. If you can, hit that subscribe button if you're catching this, you're not already subscribed to the channel. Let your friends and family know about the Jack Hammer channel. Let them know that, I do my best to give you guys balanced takes. Try to make it fun and interactive as well. And just appreciate everybody. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas in that normal fashion. But hope you're all having a good day. And we'll be talking with you soon. Take care and keep it locked in here to the Jack Hammer channel. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.